So that was a year. Hey, how you doing? Hanging in there, buds? We've all had to realign our expectations for quality of life in the face of, gestures panickedly. Everyone had a rough 2020. That is, except for pizza. Pizza, you still holding it down. We just typed a thing into a computer and then you showed up piping hot and all come hither on our doorstep. Delivery drivers, you should be saying it for your work in 2020. No, keep it going. Yeah, give it up for pizza. You know what word I learned recently? Pentaptic. It's like a triptych, but for 5. Anyway, I was watching a BBC and Amazon co-production on Amazon as I'm here in the States.
The Small Axe.
Small Axe, a 5-film anthology from Steve McQueen about the West Indian community experience in London throughout the years. It's exceptional and well worth your time. 5 films, entirely distinct but about the same community of people. It is a pentaptic. Do you know how hard making 5 films at the same time is? Anyway, Amazon just like season 1, y'all! It got me thinking about the division between movies and TV and it totally not existing anymore. It's all just content for the machine now. This is why 6 Undergrounds happen. The way we even consumed films in 2020 was different. So this year, the Fave 5 is a reflection of the stuff most responsible for getting my partner and I through a very difficult year. There is a video game and a TV show on the list this time. But let's talk about some stuff that was awesome but didn't quite connect with me in the same way as my top picks.
Definitely. I mean, we're a couple of couples, right?
I really liked Bill and Ted Face the Music, a delightful, hopeful movie about uniting the world at a time I, and I'm sure many other people, needed some hope. Late August 2020. Bill and Ted Face the Music is the 6th man on the 2020 movie squad. Also, Queen's Gambit was a really nice surprise that got a lot of new people into chess. It was charming and went a whole lot harder in the paint than I really think anyone thought it was gonna. And can we talk about Birds of Prey? Good, because I'm gonna. I loved this psychedelic, quasi-demented take on superhero movies. The entire stakes of this movie are a breakfast sandwich, which is absolutely perfect. Hard to believe this movie came out in February. Oh, and speaking of Christopher Nolan, even though no one did, he needs to decide if he's saving the cinema business, which is a noble goal, or if he's taking a stand on the audience not being able to hear and understand the dialogue in your incredibly witty sci-fi concept movie. Yeah, new year, new look. I'm mildly spicy now. Tenet was fun otherwise, and Robert Pattinson still got it.
That part is a little dramatic.
Oh, it's January again. This one kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, it was July. Do you remember July? March 143rd. Palm Springs was a fresh take on the whole Loop Day concept, somehow clairvoyantly releasing a movie about every day being exactly the same while onset Trent Reznor disease was beginning to hit us all pretty hard.
It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah.
Palm Springs is a movie about people trying to make it in the world, even if that world is a temporally regulated box. It's basically fun existential foofara with extremely charming performances. It has J.K. Simmons in it, Peter Gallagher is in it, Lonely Island produced it. It made me feel like living again because I watched a movie about not letting the nihilism that is festering, clawing, seething within your conscious mind to take over your earthly human vessel and bring about a dark age of chaos. Whoa! Whoops! There it goes again. Palm Springs is a wonderfully shot, timely take on a tired and true subgenre that just might put some wind in your sails again. Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti anchor this entire movie effortlessly. I'm not sure any movie has ever nailed an era in time so accidentally and so perfectly before. Also, Max Barbakow, the director, wanted to make a, if I may quote him directly here, an absurdist comedic mumblecore take on Leaving Las Vegas, which is a perfect sentence. Oh, and speaking of tap dancing around the raggedy edge of the endless abyss of nihilism, this shouldn't work. The laws of the universe dictate that an old commercial bit from NBC Sports about how an American football coach gets a job coaching English Premier League football cannot be resurrected into not only a good TV show, but a fantastic and moving TV show. And yet, in August, Apple TV released probably the best show on streaming right now. Everything you've heard is true. Ted Lasso is really that good. I didn't really know a lot about this show except everyone told me to watch it. It was while watching the 3rd episode of Ted Lasso that I noticed Bill Lawrence's name in the credits. You know, if you're into Spin City, Clone High, Scrubs, or Cougar Town. This series was received so well that it's already been renewed for a 3rd season before the 2nd one even aired. Multiple songs in the show are written by Marcus Mumford of Mumford & Sons, who also co-wrote the score for the show. It's funny, endearing, wonderfully acted, and sincerely moving. It takes a one-note premise from a commercial and creates an entire universe of believable people with complicated motivations. It will also kick your heart in half like a cheap plate. It treats an absurd premise with absolute sincerity. Jason Sudeikis and Bill Lawrence deliver a wonderful, wonderful show where no upfront knowledge of soccer or really any sports in general is required. It's a show about people. This is the type of energy I want to remember from 2020. Relentless optimism in the face of crumbling uncertainty. Ted Lasso is the real deal. Oh, and speaking of Pete Docter directing films dissecting human complexity in an endearing way that both children and adults can extract functional value from, who are we? What is the thing that makes me, me? Children's films often do exceptionally heavy lifting, but Soul goes for the old visualize and give emotionality to the incredibly abstract idea of a soul, but also entertain kids and make them laugh a lot, which is a mighty high bar to attempt. Luckily, there are cats. I think people use the phrase, "it made me feel like a kid again," a lot. This movie did that for me, but in an entirely abstract way. True admission, I have been obsessed with 3D rendering technology from like 3D Studio, Release 4, and friggin' Bryce 3D. I am a huge nerd. This film blew my entire mind apart. When this movie introduced traditional abstract 2D characters animating in all 3 dimensions, like literally drawing and animating 2D characters in 3D. They're beyond technology now. They're delivering on abstract metaphysical concepts. Souls don't even have hard edges, they're just loosely controlled vapor people. I had an exhilarating experience watching this movie. Sure, it's like some other recent Pixar movies, like for example how Brave was a movie somehow about a bear mom, which was mysteriously missing from all trailers. Bear mom! But also, I think it's as silly as it needs to be to discuss the subject of mortality and music with a toddler. Toddlers don't pontificate on the existential stuff so good, and that's the sweet spot for Pixar, even when they made Cars 2, for example.
Almighty, average intelligence.
They always found their way back. Pete nailed it on Inside Out, and he nails it here, and somehow it is also a masterclass in visual design. I was absolutely blown away with how far pre-rendered 3D technology has come. A gorgeous film. Oh, and speaking of bar-setting artistic achievements nestled in warm, internationally funded, family-friendly movies about existential... Who says trilogies don't have satisfying endings? Oh, a lot of people are saying that? The trilogy in question here is the Irish folklore trilogy, Song of the Sea, The Secret of the Kells, and Wolfwalkers. I watched Soul and Wolfwalkers in back-to-back days, and I really had a spring in my step there for a second. The fact that two of the most beautifully animated films of all time came out last year during a distance pandemic, no less, is worthy of respect. Wolfwalkers is mesmerizing. It's gorgeous like movies don't often look. A quirky and warm, beautifully hand-animated story of belonging, but also if you need some 2020 in your life. Hang on, is this really a movie about werewolves and fascism? It is? Okay, well there you go. This movie will enchant you. Watch it with your kids. Oh, and speaking of putting a video game into the Fave 5 video for the first... I was not ready for Hades, an absolutely addictive roguelike dungeon crawler with more polish than practically any video game released in the last 10 years. Yeah, I said it. There's polish pouring out of every angle of this masterpiece. It doesn't even do normal crossfades, which I can't even imagine most games even caring about. Custom crossfades. And this game happened without crunch, something basically unheard of in the AAA gaming space. It's a simple premise. You control the son of Hades, Zagreus, as you try and escape the underworld and reach Mount Olympus while flirting, fighting, and punching your way to delicious freedom. Die and you gotta start all over. Meet all your favorite gods as they help you gain powers and alter your skills, tailoring each playthrough to your specifications. One of the most replayable games I've ever got my hands on. It'll hook you, which makes it kind of the perfect game for 2020. You know, re-entering an endless prison that you cannot escape, try as you might, fighting with everything you have just to make this endless roller coaster stop. Choose your weapons, choose your boons, choose your path. It's always different, every time. 11 out of 10. The entire game industry should learn from this game. I mean, they won't, but that's gaming, baby! Which rounds out my Fave 5 picks from 2020. Lots of good stuff coming this year. Be on the lookout. Stay safe out there, friends.